Okay. Just stay still. There you go. And I don't need all caps. I'm not yelling at anybody yet. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm on a little bit earlier because I have a very fun schedule today and it's starting really early. I have my doctor's appointment for my dermatologist to check the non existent rash um, at like 9 o'clock. So I have to like get off before 8:40 or something like that to make the appointment. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Um, you're probably seeing already in the chat that I put a listing for a bag. I posted it on That's So in the That's So Nova group and I posted it on my Instagram. I don't I think I posted it also in my YouTube shorts as well as on my personal page on Facebook. I tested a pattern for the hold on, let me pin this. Hold on. I tested a pattern for So Candy Designs. It's called the Nile crossbody handbag, and that bag was absolutely fun. I'm going to pin this um, crossbody in the chat because in case some other people come on and I'm talking about it, then they can see it. I'm going to post it in my description section later. I just forgot to put it in there. That was a really, really fun bag. I haven't It was a fun sew. It's a different kind of crossbody. She does a lot of methods that I have actually never done before. I love when I get to test a bag or I get to just sew up a bag that has different, it may look like a classic silhouette, but then they do different techniques and you learn something different. Like I said, the minute I stop learning something in bag making is the minute I'm probably going to walk away. So I hope that never happens because I really love bag making. Um, so this was a really fun bag. But let me tell you what happened this weekend. I had a lot of fun this weekend. Saturday I cut out a bag, a tester bag, and I just had like a really bad headache. So I kind of nursed it because the pressure in the air, it was raining, not raining, so I was kind of like nursing a headache. Um, and I woke up Sunday morning with no headache. So immediately I went and finished my tester bag. I got up. Oh no, sorry. Saturday I nursed a headache and then I took a nap and I woke up and immediately it was gone. So immediately I went and cut out the rest of the pieces for the tester bag and then my kids were like, "What are you going to do today?" I was like, I wanted to see Sonic 3." And my middle child, Hope, who's 14, she was like, "Have you seen Sonic 1 and 2?" And I was like, "No. Do you think I could see Sonic 3 and without seeing Sonic 1 and 2?" And they're like, "Why do you want to see Sonic 1?" I was like, "Oh, the Shadow Hedgehog." And they're like, "What do you know about that?" I was like, "I played Sega. I was around like I played Sega Genesis all the time and the Shadow came out in like '04 and that was my favorite character because it's like, a dark version of Sonic the Hedgehog." And they were like, "What? You know about it?" I was like, "Yes, Sega Genesis was out when I was a kid. Leave me alone." um so like they were like, "So you want to see it just for that character?" I was like, "Yes." "Is he in the 1 and 2?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "Also his voice is from Keanu Reeves." And they're like, "Who's Keanu Reeves?" I'm like, "I failed you. I I failed you." So, because I was like, "He's a national treasure. If anything ever goes happens to him, I'm going full blown Taken. Keanu Reeves is a national treasure." And they're like, "No, let's go watch Sonic 1 and 2, and then we'll watch 3." Because they're like, "We haven't seen 3." And I'm like, "Okay." So I put away all my testing pieces. And again, my headache was gone. So I was like, "Why not?" So I was like, "Okay, well, let's go get snacks." So my husband was on the route to go get some lumber at Lowe's. And I was like, "Hey, can you come back?" And he's like, "Why not?" So he took us to some grocery stores. He took the kids to go to 7-Elevens to get Slurpees. We don't get like them candy. My kids are kind of bad and bougie, so they were like getting prosciutto ham and like their own little version of a charcuterie board for our snacks. I really do blame this on the Spanish side. I do. I really do. Okay, anyways, so they're getting their chorizos and all their like charcuterie board, their thing done. We're in our room, and my husband is outside doing the garden. See, no green thumb, but I'm sitting here watching Sonic. So I watched the first one, and in the first one, if you guys, I'm not blowing Sonic the Hedgehog, but I just gotta say, like, I wanted to see again. I wanted to see Sonic 3 without seeing 1 and 2 because I wanted to see Keanu Reeves. He's the voice of the Shadow. So in the first one, Sonic is low key stalking his humans, and the movie that they're watching is Speed, and he says, and I quote, "We need to cherish Keanu Reeves. He's a national treasure." And I was like, "I just said that to you guys. I just said that." They're like, "Okay, is he though?" And I'm like, "Yes. Everybody that knows Keanu Reeves says it." Right? So like so they were like, okay, and I was like, and they kind of like pre-told you guys that in the future that they're working because he's Shadow's voice. They knew he was going to be Shadow's voice in the first one, and I was like, I didn't even see the first one, and I can tell you that they gave you an Easter egg. So anywho, and they keep talking about certain things in the first one, and they kind of bring it up in every movie. They always talk about cosplays. They always talk about they always talk about certain things like the Matrix. They talk about like Taken, and they talk about certain things that lead to new characters like Easter eggs. And my kids are not picking up on it, but I'm like, whatever. And I'm loving Jim Carrey because again, we grew up with Ace Ventura. We just love the Grinch. Like it's Jim freaking Carrey. He's hilarious. Like he doesn't just act with his mouth and his personalities. He is a whole actor. He is a method actor. You look up method actor, you're like Jim Carrey. So we watched the second one, and the second one is voiced by another person that I really admire, is Idris Elba. His character is Knuckles, is freaking hilarious. And they're like, I know that voice. I'm like, dude, the seals in Dory, and I was like in like I was like giving him the other people he voiced. I was like the Gorilla Dad and singing like like they were like, you're way too invested. I'm like, you guys are way not invested, and I'm this is only my first time watching it, right? So like here we are, we're now watching the third one. And in the third one in Sonic the Hedgehog, like the humans are getting bored because the three are out there saving the world. Tails, like Knuckles and Sonic are trying to stop Shadow and is in all the people because Jim Carrey finds his long lost grandfather because he's an orphan. I was like, it explains why he's being bad. I'm not saying that's an excuse to be a villain, but if you're a genius and then like you never really had love before, you kind of understand why someone might turn to the dark side because like you never had love. So what are you fighting for? Like I'm not saying it's an excuse, but you kind of understand the trope. Like it just I don't know. So they're like, hey, we need to break into this place to get this information, right? So they're like, and he tells us telling them to get this USB drive and stick it into this thing, and it wasn't working. And when he pulled it out, I was like, blow on it. And like I just said it. And they were like, what? What are you talking about it? And he's like, oh, I know the caretaker for these three, the mom said blow on it, and he blows on it and sticks it in and it starts working. And I was like, yeah, man. And they're like, what do you know? And he was like, yeah, this is something we did in our childhood. I was like, I try to explain to my kids in the old Nintendo games, like Dream and Sega games, whether you had Dreamcast, Nintendo 64, you used to blow on the cartridges because they didn't work. Like unless you blew in them. And I was like, I don't know why. The method to the madness. And I was like, there wouldn't even be dust in it. It just didn't work unless you did it. And I could not stop laughing in my head. Like Kendall walked in, and I was like, I like rewind it and then like played it. And he was like, yeah, you have to blow on it. Like, and my kids were like, no, you don't. I'm like, but you do. So, and she's like, it's a USB stick. You don't have to do them like, but it's a Sega movie. And in Sega games, you have to blow on the cartridges. And like, I kept asking questions that they didn't know the answers to. I'm like, why aren't they finding rings? Like they kept using rings, right? But they use rings in the intro and the outro, but they're not finding rings. I was like, the whole purpose of Sonic is the rings. And it was like, um, hi. So like it was just funny. Like it was just watching like the like Gen Z with like with the people that originally seen like Dreamcast and like say who played Sega Genesis, who know like all the tropes in and out of Sega Genesis and remember when the game came out and know a little bit more than the Gen Z. Like I knew why Shadow had rings on him because he had to contain his power, and I was like, yeah, I was like, eventually when Sonic uses the stone too much, he does become the Golden God, and he eventually has rings on him to contain his power. And they're like, what? I was like, yeah, he uses it. I was like, he went full on Thanos, and Tails and Knuckles have to put rings on him to contain his power. And I was like, if you look at Sonic in like game 4 and 5, he has like the ultimate power. He is Thanos. And that's why I was like, that's one of the reasons why a lot of people say that Thanos and the gem things is not original, but originally it was because Stanley wrote it in like 1978 and Genesis Sega came out in like 99 in 2005. And they were like, what? I was like, I honestly can say I know more than you guys. It feels so good when you know more than your kids watching something. Like when I'm watching Minecraft, I didn't know Jack Dilly squat, so they're explaining everything. And I'm like, I'm the dummy, but I knew things in Sonic. I knew everything in Sonic, from the voice actors to the rings to every scenario that was going on. Needless to say, the fourth movie comes out in 2027. Yeah, I'm taking them to the movie theater because I'm going to know things like a boss. Because I was there when the Sega games were out there. I was like, yeah. So yeah, that's what I was doing on Saturday. I was watching Sega. It almost makes me want to bring out my old Dreamcast. Yeah, I still have that. And just play it in front of their face and just annihilate them because I won it like countless times because I used to spend hours playing it. Yeah. So that's what I did on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I woke up, no headache. So I was really proud, like proud and happy and thankful that there was no headache. I finished a really really cool. You guys cannot wait. You guys been wanting this designer to come out with another pattern tester. It was easy peasy lemon squeezy. I put it together. I'm gonna take pictures of that today. I have a dermatologist appointment again for my rash that is not rashing. Um, and watch me break out in hives today because I will be exposed to the sun. So, and then I have a Patreon. We're going to be making the Lynette fob, and then I get to meet one of my well, Patreon peeps and the person that's going to Wizardly. We're going to have brunch, lunch, not quite breakfast, not lunch kind of scenario. Um, and then I just have a whole bunch of little stuff to do because this week we are going to so whatever studios. I'm really excited about that. So I'm getting my little goodie bags together and writing my name in my whimsical flowery that you can't read my handwriting kind of scenario and packing up bags. So I'm really excited. But let me show you the Nile bag from So Candy. This is cute. All right, let me show you what's different about it. So you're like, oh, Shova, it's like, a standard bag. It is, but it isn't. So first things first, I'm Papa Free all the but. Okay, I need to stop with Biggie Smalls. I was listening to him all weekend when I was filming. All right, so first of all, I decided to do 3 different colors. I have cork. I have the herbs from Harry Potter because I wanted like Harry Potter, but not in your face Harry Potter. You go to the herbs. So and then I did pink corduroy. Why not? Okay. So we have a zipper pocket in the inside, and my fat hands can't fit in here, but I'm pretty sure you can fit a cell phone in here because the pocket goes all the way up to here. Um, then you also have a slip pocket. My ring got caught, but you can fit some stuff in here. It's pretty deep. See, Oop, there's a 5-inch zipper. So then you have a back slip pocket. My fat hands can't fit in there. Okay, you have two ways to wear this crossbody. You can use these, which I really like how you can put these on, or you can put it on the back, which I weirdly like this. Like if you're going to a festival, like a wine in the woods or something like that, and you're getting crunk and drunk, you can put this around and have it kind of in the front like this. I know this sounds funny, but you don't have to wear it on your side. I in the wine in the woods, people in our area, they're getting wine wasted. And if you have everything in the front, you can just kind of kangaroo pouch it. I'm just saying, no shame in your game. Or you can also feed this through your belt. Like you can clip your belt loops weirdly through this, or put another strap through this and feed it through your belt. I'm just giving you options. So when the exterior is really cool because you do have this unique shape here, and like I said, you can feed it through belt loops. Then look at this design. All right, so the way her outer gusset comes together, you will never figure it out unless you have the pattern. Because when I seen it, I was like, I think I got it. When I put the pattern together, I was like, oh snap, I just learned a new way. It is very cool, and it's not how it connected how you think it is. It's very distinct. There's a lot of things you put together the gusset very differently, and I love the way it comes together. Then in the inside, you're gonna have your crossbody strap. You know how I roll. I have to stick it in there. We have a zipper pocket, two credit card slots, and then we have a nice slip pocket. And as you can see, it's nicely bound. But how you could tell this is interesting. I'm trying to think. Do I have a pin by here? This, you can see that you kind of stick a pin in here, because do you see how this is connected right here? You see the top stitching? This is not connected how you think it is. It is a very unique way how to put a gusset. There's a lot of key things that I learned from this designer, and again, the minute I stop learning, this minute I'm gonna quit. So she puts the gusset together uniquely. I love the shape of this. It's just not a straight line. I love how it's like a little bit of a crescent moon. So you could display some really beautiful materials. This right here, it is unusual too, because it's constructed, the back pocket's constructed a little bit different too, so you don't have a ton of material straps that go down in here into the gusset. It's very unique. She is very conscious about people that have a domestic machine, but I also think she's kind of conscious about bulk. I really love designers who are conscious about bulk, because I always say, just because you can sew over bulk doesn't mean you should. I hate the way when someone sews over bulky seams, and you can tell when the stitches are sunken in. It's just a gross looking for me, and that's my own personal preference. Somebody might absolutely love it, but for me, it's like, it's it's no, don't do it. Don't do it. One of my favorite persons who shows bulk reduction is Alexis from Ora Rosa. If you pay attention, she has evolved. If you look at her first pattern versus her last pattern, she constantly is growing, and that's one of the reasons why I think that my love for bag making is something similar to her, because she constantly evolves. She has some of the most best bulk reduction tips out there. Just because you have an industrial doesn't mean you need to sew over the bulk. So don't do it. Don't do it. So, um, what this has like a very interesting way to reduce the bulk, as well as just have nice smooth seams, and it comes together really nicely. And I don't know, I really like the way it looks. And you get to do a little bit more. You can have it like monochromatic, you can have it all one color, you can have fun with just 2, 3, 4 different colors. And I think if you've been wanting to experiment with different color palettes and try just a couple different colors, like some of our favorite bag makers. This is a really good one to try it out with. I wanted to try something where I mess with different textures, and I like the way it turned out. It was fun. It does give that natural feeling because I have the cork, and then I do have, you know, the herbal plants, and then just a little bit of texture from it. So I had fun. I had a lot of fun making this, and I did put the link in the chat, and I think the pattern's like $6 or something along those lines, $6 or $7. It's really, really good. It did take me a little longer to make this because I'm not gonna lie, this is very interesting, and it does take a long time to do it. You have to really pay attention and read ahead. My biggest takeaway for you to do this is really pay attention. Good morning. Thank you. My biggest takeaway for this is when you're doing the gusset, read ahead before you sew, or you're going to be ripping out stitches. You think you're going to make a top stitch, and a top stitch is really going to be one long stitch. So you need to read ahead, and then you'll see. Um, yeah, just read ahead, and you'll be fine. I don't know what is going on, hon. So yeah, you just need to read ahead, and you'll see, and you will get like the answer you need. But yeah, it comes together really fast. The gusset's really fun to put together. You'll learn a new sewing scale set, and then again the back panel. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about, okay, so Sally Tomato this weekend sent me the thing, because I'm part of the subscription for Bag of the Month. They're like, they're like, because it's a bigger ticket item, they're like, okay, this is not a drill. On the 20th, which is tomorrow, which is going to be midnight tonight, they're going to pull the money out for Shannon's box. This is not a drill, people. Shannon's box is going to get pulled out tonight, and it'll get shipped out first thing like on the 31st. Wait, 30th, 31st? 31st. Yeah, so it'll get shipped out 31st, and I'll get it like the first couple days within June. If you're looking to get the collaboration between Sally Tomato and good morning. Yeah, it is countdown mode. If you're looking to get the collaboration between with Shannon and um, if you're trying to get the collaboration box between Shannon and Sally Tomato, this is it. And it is a really good box. I like each box they keep coming out with gets better and better. I'm really excited. I don't know the pattern. I have my assumptions, but I don't know. It could be any one of her patterns, and then they come out with their own materials with it, with hardware colors, and then of course there's like special things like there's an interview that they have with Shannon, which I always like the interview, because when you get to see someone interview the another designer another designer or another company interviewing a designer you like, they may ask questions that normally don't get asked, so it gives you a better like a better take on the designer. Like there might be questions that you have never asked before, and you had no idea that's the reason why the designer does what they do. So because one of my favorite interviews was the one with Joe and Adam. It just like it gave you so much other insight on why, what was the shift that made Adam started designing, and like what made like Adam start sewing, and just it's curious because when Adam started sewing, he just started off with bang. He's one of those very interesting people that once he started sewing, there was like no hiccups. He just was like, if there's a scale of 1 to 10 on sewing, he just started sewing, and he was automatically a 7. There was no beginning like, oops, I have a crooked stitch. Oops, I didn't back stitch. He just like started off hard, like hardcore. Like he was like sewing for 7 years in the shadows, and then he came up. Like he started off good. So it's very interesting to listen to these interviews, and that's part of the features of having the box. It's an exclusive interview to you if you have this box, and I hope you're utilizing that if you have it. So it's part of it. There's interviews with Celine, and I think the following month I think in June, I believe So Hungry Hippie is going to be the next one, which I'm intrigued with that one a little bit too, because she has a very specific she has a very specific look. She has a very specific like color palette and just like a feel. So I'm curious what Sally Tomato is going to pair with her, because she has a very distinctive vibe. So I like, are they going to go outside of her comfort zone and try something different? Because when you do that, you may make a bag look completely different than what it originally looks like. Like you can take a bag that may look very like business professional and give it a hippie look. You could take a hippie bag and make it look like it is a country bag. Like it's very interesting to take someone's bag out of the element of what they supposedly look like and try something new. So I'm curious to see what that one looks like as well. So they're doing really well with all the designers that they have picked. And I'm not going to lie, each month I keep waiting to see who the next one is. But I am very, 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 very on my edge of my toes to see what Shannon's bag is and to see what materials they put into this bag. Um, yeah, I'm really my the curiosity is getting to me. So I could put the information for the Sally Tomato link also in my description box. If you go through this link, I just want you to know it is a affiliate link and I do get a small kickback. And if that bothers you, don't use the link. It's perfectly fine. I don't want to like pressure you or anything. um yeah, those are the two things I wanted to let you guys know. It is not a drill, people. It is Shannon's box. So if you do have it, it's another way to support her too. Um, and a small business like Sally Tomato as well. So I think this is a really cool thing. I hope they are able to continue it, or I don't know if it's just for a year thing. I'm not too sure how they're going to do it. Um, I have a lot of questions too. I keep meaning to ask them about the holiday box, but I don't even know how to form that email. Hey, it's me, Shanova. I'm the person that opens your boxes that I purchase on holidays. How is the holiday box going to happen? I know we have that 90-day reprieve right now, which really isn't a reprieve because it's still a high tariff, but I don't know how that's going to go because I don't want to be like, hey guys, it's different for this holiday, for the Shannon's box because it's going to ship to you on May 31st. So I'm like, yeah, dude. I mean, and they have a variation. If you're in the US, I think it's like $59 or $69. If it's international, it's $99. It's a set price, it's already there, right? But for the holiday one, I don't know. I don't know. They usually come out with it at the end of June, beginning of July, and they ship it out mid-November. I don't know. I don't know how to form that email. I've tried. I've written it out like 7 times and I've given it to Kindle and I don't, and every one of them sounds super awkward. And I know I'm an awkward person, but if they sound awkward to me, it's just, I don't know. So I'm trying to write that out so that way because I don't want to be like, get the holiday box. Like, and then you get like this incredible invoice when it comes. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, because we could do something different. Like, we could figure something else out. Um, yeah. I don't know. So I don't want to like lead you guys down to a path where we're all like paying like $200 in tariff fees or something. Like, I don't know. Unless there's somebody that already bought their stuff for the holiday boxes, I don't know. So I'm going to hop off because I'm going to go to my dermatologist appointment and Patreon. I'll see you guys at noon and I will talk to you all later. I hope everyone has a really great Monday and I'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.